Hi everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Crystal Fry, a woman's best friend. Tonight we are talking about the benefits of taking a break. And before we get into the benefits, let's take a moment to talk about how you recognize when you need a break. This looks different for everyone, and so it's important that you know the signs that signal you and clue you into knowing when it's that time, when it's time to take a break. For me, those signs usually include some increased irritability, maybe kind of getting annoyed with small things that I normally wouldn't be annoyed with, feeling disinterested in things like, if there's a project that I'm working on, whether it's around the house or whether it's, really just anything, and I just don't feel very passionate about it, or I'm really just kind of bleh feelings. And sometimes it's feeling overly emotional about things for me. Just a real general sense of needing to withdraw. So those are some of the signs that clue me in to knowing that I need a break. And again, those signs are different for everyone. So it's really important to know yourself and to be able to recognize when your body is starting to tell you that you need a break, when your mind is starting to tell you that you need a break from things. I am an introvert by nature. I love people, but when I need to recharge my batteries, when I need to refresh, when I need to kind of reset, I need to do so alone, kind of by myself, away from people, which is kind of an interesting thing for me. And when I reach my tipping point, I'm pretty much like, I love you, but I can't people right now. And so let's face it, whether you're in the spotlight or you have a high profile job or you're a kindergarten teacher or you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter what your role is in life. It doesn't matter what stage you currently find yourself in. From time to time, you need a break. We all need a break from time to time. So I was recently at my tipping point, actually just a couple of weeks ago. And here's the thing. Here is something what I said earlier, why it's important for you to know what triggers you, for you to know when you're reaching that point. Sometimes that point sneaks up on us. And sometimes we don't quite realize and recognize those signs because we're right in the thick of it. We're right in the middle of what's going on. We're right in the place of getting to where we're reaching our capacity, and sometimes that clouds us from being able to recognize those signs and say, hey, you need to take a step back. You need to take a little break. You need to take a breather. You need to reset. Or worse yet, you know that you need a break, but you feel guilty about even thinking that you need a break, much less actually taking one. You feel like you are, not doing what you are supposed to do. You're not upholding your end of some imaginary deal with the people around you because you need a break. And that is oftentimes where our difficulties come in with so we recognize it, but then we have this guilt thing that comes in. And then when you go to actually tell someone that you need a break, you need some time for yourself, that guilt can have a compounding effect on how you're feeling in the first place. So, and if you're feeling like that, ladies and gentlemen, trust me when I tell you that I can absolutely relate to that. When you are the person that everyone depends on, those feelings of guilt that come up when you need a break, they are no joke. And they can actually prevent you from doing what you need to do for yourself, which is taking that break. So it is very important for you to recognize those things, and it's very important for you to be honest with the people around you to let them know, hey, I'm reaching my limit, I do need a break. So like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I was at that point myself. Just a lot of busy stuff going on, a lot of extra things that aren't normally part of my life kind of coming down on me. And thankfully, I am blessed with people in my life who can see that I need a break even when I can't. even when my vision is a little clouded and, I am really kind of staring at that wall of overwhelm, I've got a few people in my life who can kind of take a look at me and know that, yeah, girl, you need to step away for a minute. And so I was on a video call with one of my coaches. I have two, and they are both absolutely fabulous. I love you both. And I was talking to her about the current state of, where I was at that point a couple of weeks ago. Things that were going on in my life, things that were happening, and she could absolutely visibly see that I was at my capacity. Just in my facial expressions, in the way that I was holding myself, the way that my shoulders were very tense, in my speech patterns, all of those things, she could really see that I was on the edge of overwhelm and that it was time. It was time to unplug, time to shut everything down and reset, time to be still and clear out the clutter that had found its way into just kind of making this mess of everything that was happening at that particular point in time. And so really needing that time to allow myself the space to bring back the clarity that I needed on several things in my life and allow me to refocus and put my efforts back into the right place. And that's exactly what I did. So I took a good solid 7 days and I shut everything off. All of my social media, news, anything external that I could shut off without actually physically taking a week off and spending it somewhere away, like at a retreat destination, which, by the way, is a fantastic, absolutely excellent idea, and I will be partaking in one of those very soon. But that is what I had to do to shut everything down. I am one of those people that if, the little red notification button on your Facebook app or your Instagram or your Twitter or any of those other social media apps, that little notification that comes up, that drives me nuts. If I see it, I feel like I need to go clear it out. And so for me, to shut things out for me, I had to disable all notifications on all social media, on everything that normally sends me little things on my phone to do. I really had to shut all of that down. Because if not, then I would be very focused on going in there to look and see what was going on. So when I did that, that allowed me time to be quiet. It allowed me to spend time being reflective on where I was at that point in time, things that had come up, things that were outside of my control that I was trying to control. It allowed me the space to let those things go. And it allowed me to really take stock, take inventory of how those things were impacting both my mental and my emotional state. And for me, I am one of those folks who, when the mental and emotional state starts to get really cloudy, that feeds over into my physical state as well. I get more tired. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I am much more irritable about things. I am more emotional about things. And it really is just a trigger point for me to settle myself back down and refocus. So let's go over some of the benefits of taking a break. When you shut everything out, when you go on that break, you are able to see things much more clearly. You're able to look at things from a different perspective and understand that a lot of those things that you were worried about or that you were maybe feeling fearful about or things that were really kind of impacting you that you didn't even realize were impacting you, you can put them in perspective and see that, next month, next year, heck, even next week, those things are not going to matter. And so it gives you the space for you to get back into a mental state of being able to focus on what is important, on what you do need to be looking towards and working towards and focused on. If you have goals, this is especially important. It's very easy to get very task-oriented and looking at all of the different things that you need to do on that list. And that can take your focus away from the actual goal itself and taking one step at a time to get there. So being able to take that break allows you the mental space to declutter. It allows you to get all the rest of that stuff out. It allows you to rest physically so that your body can be in a better condition to support the energy and the effort that you're going to need to put forth, even if it's just within your daily life. You guys, if you're a stay-at-home mom, and I was a stay-at-home mom twice, I had the benefit of doing that with both of my boys. Let me tell you, that in and of itself is an exhausting role to play in your life. It's exhausting to wake up and constantly have to take care of an infant or a small child who is fully and totally dependent on you. You need periodic breaks so that you can continue to be the best you for the people around you. You can be the best you for yourself. You can be the best you for those people around you. But you can't do that if you're constantly sitting in a state of overwhelm. If you're constantly sitting on that place where, where you're on your way home and you're on the phone with your husband, your partner, your significant other, your boyfriend, whoever it is, and you say, well, gosh, what do you want for dinner? And they don't care, right? Because, it's food. Okay. That should not send you into a place where you feel like you're going to be in tears on the phone because you just can't make one more decision. If you find yourself in that place, you need a break desperately. And so when you find those things that clue you in to knowing that you're getting close to your edge, that you're getting to a place where you need to take a break, listen to it and figure out what taking a break means for you. Like I said earlier, for me, it meant I had to shut off all social media. I had to shut off all external things, and I could not be in a place where I was committing to things. It's a week. For me, it was a week. It was 7 days. And guess what? Everyone and everything is still going to be there when you resurface. It is. Life continues to move on, whether you're actively participating in it or whether you're taking a moment of rest and you're taking some respite time for yourself. So just understand that, things are not going to stop just because you need to step away and take a break. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. Because when you come back, when you step back into it, you're going to be back on your game again. You're going to be ready to jump back in. You're going to be ready to be fully focused, fully engaged, fully aware of what's going on. So make sure that you are being very aware of how your body reacts to stress when you know that you're at your tipping point, and figure out what it means for you to take a break. And for the people around you, make sure that they know, that they can clue you in when you look like you're getting overly stressed. When you look like you are about to just, the Niagara Fall waterworks are getting ready to come on because somebody told you good morning. You need a break, girl. I promise. And you'll come back and you'll be very much refreshed and very much able to tackle it. If you are a person who needs to physically get away from things, make those arrangements and make that happen. Because for your mental well-being, for your physical well-being, you've got to be able to take care of that. You've got to be able to take care of you in order for you to take care of anybody else. So love yourself enough to know when you need a break, and love yourself enough to take that break when you need it. Now, if this has been helpful for you, I do hope that you will like and share this video. I know that oftentimes we do find that place of stress and overwhelm, and we really do need that break. And sometimes, more importantly than anything, we need someone to give us permission to take a break, because unfortunately, that's just kind of how some of us operate. And so here, this is me giving you permission to take a break when you need it. This is me telling you it's okay to step away for a couple of days, a week, a month, however long that you need to get yourself back refocused and recentered and ready to really tackle the things that you need to. So give yourself permission. Treat yourself with some grace and give yourself permission to take that break when you need it. Again, that is what I've got for you tonight on the benefits of taking a break. I do hope that you will like and share if this is helpful for you. And until next week, This is Crystal Fry, a woman's best friend, teaching women to see themselves, love themselves, and transform into themselves, into the women that they were created to be. Have a great week.